Hey guys, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Oh, it's more RimWorld. I do love RimWorld on Saturdays. It's just nice to be able to stream it again, I say. Alright, what were we up to the last time this nonsense was occurring? Right, Vector and Sebastian. Vector and Sebastian, you guys kind of joined the team here. Let me remind myself what your quest is here. You are going to be here for 19 days. Wow. 19 days you guys are going to hang out. Did I actually get you beds? Vector's got a bed. I don't think... Does Sebastian have a bed? Oh yeah, Sebastian's down here. Right. We hastily put together that bed for Sebastian. No, these can all be medical, guys. No reason for these to be residential. Let's make sure we got a hospital wing. Diamond, welcome. Gamer, welcome. How you doing? Gamer, haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you again. Okay, so Sebastian does have a bed. That's good, at least. I haven't been to one of these streams in a while. No, I was just saying that. Welcome back. Good to see you here again. How much wood do I have kicking around? Oh, a little bit. Yeah, I have some wood. I don't have no wood. Perturby, welcome. Let's get some wood flooring down for Sebastian here. If he's going to be here for 19 days, I think we can at least give him a floor. That's a good room, too. That'll turn out nice for somebody later once these guys are out of here. And you know what? I've got the wood for it. Painstingle, you can have a nice wood floor as well. I mean, you are kind of king around here. Well, at least yeoman at this stage of the game. I suppose you're not quite king yet. But you are working on Reed. How's Reed doing? How's your whole being a prisoner thing? Oh, yeah, you're down to 0. Yeah, we're just waiting to recruit you. You will be ours. We will Mike Tyson you into loving us. Tyler, welcome. We are absolutely going to make you ours, Reed. This is not going to be a problem. While I'm on a bit of a flooring binge, I may as well give the rest of the gang some nice wood floors here. Shield and Kalian, you guys can have a floor as well. Everybody gets a floor today. Everybody gets a nice wooden floor around here. Now, Vector and Sebastian will work. They're not just sitting around. I did kind of go through your priorities here. Sebastian, you got a bit of doctoring talent. Not much, if we're all honest about things. Art, welcome. Art, that's just a string of letters. I have no idea what that means. No clue at all. I think an animal just walked across your keyboard. Possibly a sheep. You are basically good at the old crafting. So we're going to have you get into that, Sebastian. Did I set up a stone table? I did. Okay, good. Didn't have anything on it, so we've already gone through our first batch of stone blocks. Let me set up a few more there. Yeah, give me a whole bunch of stone blocks when you get a chance. I should throw another light down here, too. Remind myself what I'm doing for power. Okay, a couple of wind turbines and the wood generator. Kuba, welcome. Good to see you. And we're plowing our way through. Oh, no, we built. We built. Or at least we're going to build. Yeah, there it is. Okay, all right. Geothermal will exist. We are working in the direction of geothermal here. That took us ages, but it's going to be worth it. I think it's going to be worth it to have that much power that quickly. Where's my next geothermal? While I'm thinking about it, where is my next geothermal? Down here. Okay, right here. Good. I'll wall off this area. I'll wall off that area. And I'll have 2 nice geothermals well protected from anyone who might want to mess with my geothermal. Speaking of geothermal, I'm going to need more steel for that. I should outline some more mining, although they've got a lot of mining going on. There's not shy mining procedures going on here, ostensibly to make what will be the throne room. Eventually, this will be the throne room. It is a very, very big throne room. I might trim that down a little bit. I'll see. I'll see when I get in there. Rediscovered a game in my Steam library, and I'm addicted to it again. Which one is it? Do tell. Enlighten us. What has re-grabbed your attention? I'm getting back into Wasteland 2 because Wasteland 3 is $60. So basically I'm playing Wasteland 2, which is no great loss there. Wasteland 2 is an awesome game. Let's see. Plants are coming along. Yeah, we're kind of just waiting for people to get things done at this point. Largely the flooring. But if somebody wanted to crack into some mining, is anyone particularly good at mining? Not really. And you got 5, 5, that's not bad. 4, 4, yeah, nobody is particularly awesome at mining. That's unfortunate. Mel, welcome, welcome. Middle-earth Shadow of War, I've played that. I haven't finished it, but I played it. I enjoyed that very much. That was a very fun game. Tough game. You know, it's hard. But, no, that was a lot of fun. I have that on the old Xbox there. Yeah, I never finished it, but I don't finish a lot of games. That's pretty much what I do for a living. But, yeah, it was fun. I liked it. And it was, you know, the graphics were awesome at the time. Obviously, they've been kind of duplicated since then, but very fun game. Not surprising it's a little addictive to you. Recruit failed again. We do only have a 29% chance on Reed, but that's going to happen. We're going to roll that number at some point. Painstingle's working on his own floor. That seems unfortunate for you, seeing as you're the yeoman around here, but hey, whatever. Oh, Sebastian. Oh, I was thinking you were going off mining, but no. You're crafting stone blocks. Good. That's a perfectly appropriate thing for you to be crafting. Now, who's got issues with tattered apparel? I guess just Sebastian. Is there anything we can do about that? Is it your pants? It often is. Your shirt is fine. Your hat is fine. Your park is no good. Your pants are actually very good. You have 98% pants. That is excellent. Oh, hang on. I have to... see if I can figure out how to read that name. Tunahan. That was easier than I thought. Okay, how did I come here? That seems like a very philosophical question. I don't know that I have the intellectual capacity to back that up. How did I come here? I don't know. I mean, I could go for something obvious like, well, at some point in time, your mother and father loved each other very much, and go from there. But I won't, because I think you've asked a more philosophical question than that. How do any of us come here? What is our purpose? Why are we here? Ostensibly to play RimWorld, but, you know, there's other things that may happen in our long and eventful lives. So the short answer to your question is I haven't the slightest idea, but I hope it's something, well, I hope you came here on purpose, at least. The real question is, oh, never mind, Gamer's going all philosophical on me. Gamer's gotten all zen here. Shield is off to do some mining. That is good. Floors are coming in. I would love the guys to make a move on my geothermal over here. I mean, we spent all of that time researching it. I'd kind of like to have it. And you know what? If anyone gets a hankering, go ahead and just harvest those berries. Won't kill us to have a little more food kicking around the place. Stockpiles are good right now, but we are coming into winter. Is there anything we should be murdering? Oh, yeah, there's tons of 0%ers. Okay, take time out from whatever you're doing, guys, and go kill all those ibex. If they ain't going to fight back, I am more than happy to go and get them. Was there anything else? Any turkeys or anything that we need to be taken care of? No, surprisingly, no turkeys. Oh, there's a raid. Oh, Rick's Lobsters are back. Oh, fantastic. I love this faction. A group of pirates from Rick's Lobsters. Okay, where are you guys? Well, it's one guy, actually. He's got a machine pistol, though. That ain't nothing. Okay, who's armed? Is Sebastian or Vector armed? You got a club. You got a bow. All right. Okay, how are we going to do this? Shield, come out here. Who else has got real weapons, big boy weapons? You come out here. And you, Painstingle, you've got the sniper rifle. Yeah, because we got that early. That's going to work out well. Legua, you've got a rifle. Come on out. Weber, oh yeah, you have an auto pistol. I forgot we got one of those. Vector, you can come out with the club. And Sebastian, you can stay home with your stick. Could you stop talking so much? It's kind of annoying for the watcher. Yeah, wow, you are new around here. That's kind of what we do. Yeah, Tunahan. That's kind of what we do. I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm rather surprised. Sassy, welcome. I'm rather surprised the comments hasn't already lit up. If you're here for RimWorld, wow, are you in the wrong place, man? Wow, are you in the wrong place? Sassy, what are we fighting? Naked guy with a machine pistol. Actually, I say he's naked. He's not. So that was a lie on my part. Yeah, Tunahan, if you're still here, this is going to keep happening. So can I stop talking? No. Built this channel for ages not stopping talking. So are Venom teeth in play? Oh, good question. Who did I give those to? Was that Weber? Who did I give the Venom teeth to? Wasn't Weber. Legua? Yeah, Legua's got them. Okay, Legua's actually going to be shooting people, though. We may transition Legua into more melee. later, when we've got better melee weapons. When I don't like a YouTuber style, I do this amazing thing where I just stop watching. Yes, I feel Tunahan may be very new around here, Mel. I feel I'm going to go out on a limb and say I feel we may have lost Tunahan, because clearly Tunahan came here for RimWorld, and that's you can see I've stopped playing right now. I'm just sitting here looking at chat and chit-chatting. If someone wants people to not talk, watch Let's Play. Yeah, exactly. There's plenty of no commentary channels out there. It's not what I choose to watch. It's not something I find very interesting. But there's plenty of no commentary channels out there. There's no shortage of those. Lots of people don't say a word, and they just play the game. And people are into that. Clearly, Tunahan is into that. It's not something I would find particularly entertaining, but people do, and there's nothing particularly wrong with that. I find watching just random gameplay boring. I should probably be paying attention to this raid that's happening, but I'm not. So you're talking beats your gameplay any day. Yeah, no kidding, Google. No kidding on that account. Oh, God, if you're here for the gameplay, wow, you were on the wrong place, man. Wow, I'm sure we lost Tunahan ages ago. I'm sure I'll get a nice little dislike on that. But no, Tunahan, I will not be stopping talking. There we go, raid's over, kids. Okay, everybody, I didn't even use my psychic abilities there. And we got an auto pistol out of that. So cool. We can put Slicer here in the Hall of the Dead, and we got some drugs. All in all, I think a very, very good raid there. Well done indeed. Gameplay with no commentary. Yeah, there's plenty of channels like that. There was a guy that I kind of knew through a friend of a friend in the YouTube world. Never actually met anybody, but he had a no commentary channel. He just, he played like Assassin's Creed, and that was it. Just played Assassin's Creed and didn't say a word. And, I'm sure he's doing fine. Probably got a great channel going on. Somebody like Tunahan would probably really appreciate that. But if Tunahan is looking for me to shut up, then no, we won't be doing that. Your best stream was you were playing that cooking baking simulator game with your significant other. Yes, it was. Yes, Mrs. Dave was the star of that. We're all aware of that. That was a very special occasion. But no, you're not wrong, gamer. I think everyone's on board that the real star of the show is Mrs. Dave, and I just sort of fill in the background. Yeah, no, that was a great stream. We both had a ton of fun doing that, and I hope you guys had fun too. I think everyone did. I think everyone had a really good time with that. So you are 100% correct on that. Do we think we've lost Tunahan? I feel we have. I haven't stopped talking since he or she asked, or both or neither. I don't really care, so I'm going to assume so. When I first started YouTube, I followed no commentary, but once I heard some really enjoyed the simulation of friends hanging out. Yeah, we've told this story many times before. I started out watching Miniature Nerd. That's how I got into the whole YouTube gaming world. I genuinely, and I don't say this kiddingly, I had no idea people did this. I had no idea there was just a place you could go on the internet and just watch people play video games and talk about it. But I started with Miniature Nerd, which obviously just locked me right in because his commentary is just, it's stunning. It's wonderful. It's brilliant. It's funny. It's clever. It's all of those things. It's intelligent. It's everything. So great place to start because he just hooked me right in. Thank you, Dave's wife. Don't thank me. I think everyone else is very clear. You were the star of that show. I struggle to get into live streams sometimes. 100 comments post per second. Nobody reads my comments, so I drop them. It's tough. I try. I mean, obviously, I don't have, hundreds and thousands of comments coming in here. I am happy for every single one that does come in. So I try to keep up. Sometimes I miss stuff. Some people say, hey, you haven't responded to that thing I said. Sometimes it's tough. Sometimes chat is just flying by, and I'm trying not to get killed in a raid, so I can't always keep an eye on anything. And they are going in two different screens, so I'm kind of constantly looking to my right and my left. But I do try to, try to keep up in chat. And I get what you mean. For instance, I don't watch Miniature Nerd Livestream. Because why would I? There's 2,000 people watching that. I'm not going to be noticed anywhere. Oh, Shield joined us. Oh, sweet. Oh, no, Shield's had an inspiration. Oh, but it's a recruitment inspiration. Oh, perfect. Shield, where are you? Shield, come here. Go. No, don't strip him. All right, when you get a chance, Shield, are you on, who's the McWhat's at wardening duty? You are. I'm going to take everyone else off wardening duty and make sure you are the only person who does wardening. So wardening will feed and chat. Okay, great, good. When Shield gets around to that, what's his name, Reed, will be on our side. So that's why I don't watch large channels stream, because I'm nothing there. I'm in the ether. There are, as you say, thousands of chat posts just flying by. I prefer, if I'm watching a stream, I prefer to watch somebody smaller. So, because the stream for me is feeling like I'm interacting, feeling like I'm there with another group of people. So I don't really tune into larger channel streams, because I'm just going to be a drop in the ocean. I'm going to be a comment that flew by so fast I didn't even see it myself. I don't really post on my own channel unless it's just testing recording quality, or it's just random gameplay footage for the purpose of testing recording quality. And Mel watches Many True live stream when the VOD goes up for the same reason. Yeah, I mean, we talked about the Many a True Nerd live stream, and my feeling that it's not the side of him that I'm looking for. It's not the side of him that attracts me to his channel. When he's doing VOD stuff, it's very to use the word scripted is wrong, because it's not. But it's much more focused, and he works clean, which I found very attractive. When he's streaming, he swears like a sailor. It's just F this and F that. And a lot of it is this, because this is going to fall under, it sounds like sour grapes, and it's not. It's absolutely not. It is a testament to the incredible amount of work that he has put into his channel, and how talented he is. It's talent mixed with persistence. It's the best of both worlds. But a lot of his streams are really just Claire reading off how much people are donating. I've watched his streams. It's pretty much him kind of half checking in and playing the game, and a lot of it is just Claire saying, oh, so-and-so donated this amount, and then so-and-so donated that amount. And that's just, I don't know, it's a bit of a turnoff for me. It's a bit of a turnoff. We all do it because we love doing it. There's nobody doing YouTube gaming if they don't love doing it. If they don't love doing it, they're not going to do it for very long. They're just going to tap out really quickly. So there's not one person doing this in the long haul that doesn't do it because they love it. But when it does come down to literally basically just being about the money, that's a bit of a turnoff. Do you have a live stream where the host is happy to see you show up? Mine, I hope. I'm always happy when you guys come in. I hope that I welcome each and every one of you when you come in. And if I don't, please let me know. I mean, some people lurk in the background. I don't necessarily know that they're there. But if you're in chat and I have not acknowledged how really grateful I am that you're here, because I am thrilled when people watch this nonsense. Probably not Tunahan. He or she, or both or neither, are probably not real thrilled right now. But yeah, no, I hope I appreciate each and every one of you. Fingernail reveal is greater than face reveal. I really enjoyed his birthday stream last year when he played Factorio and Claire was not around. Couldn't keep up with the chat, but was glorious. Yeah, I mean, do you feel the same way, Mel? That it's just sort of like, it's sort of like a weird telethon where it's just, you're ticking off Claire is ticking off donations, and he's sort of casually playing in the background, and he doesn't even get like first chance at the microphone. He's actually a little off mic, and Claire is dominating the microphone. And God bless him. Again, this is so not sour grapes. We should be so lucky. I should be so lucky to be in his position, and it wasn't luck. He put in the work. He's got the talent, and he put in the work to back it up. I want to be very clear about that. This is not a sour grapes. This is, I would hope that someday I could achieve even a tenth of what he has achieved. Exactly what it feels like. Yeah, it's like a weird telethon. It's like, I don't know, Jerry Lewis should be in there somewhere with his tie all disheveled because he's been up for 24 hours. So yeah, we should be so lucky. We should be so lucky. Nain, welcome. Nain. That's an easy name to read. Nain, welcome. I mean a live stream where you go back and someone says, "Welcome, Dave. Great to have you back." No, well, and I've brought this up many. Oh, hang on. There's a mad rabbit. Hang on. I'll be right back to that in a sec. Hang on. There's a mad rabbit. Where is it? Why is it? Why do we have to deal with the mad rabbit? Where is the rabbit in relation to where we are? Pretty far away, if we're honest. I'll send some team out here. Does it go over there, maybe? I think that's probably where it's going to end up. I'll be right back. I've got to deal with a mad hare Oh, well, what the heck? It's breakfast. I like his stuff. We'll keep watching, but not the streams. Yeah, I mean, you can't not watch. He's genius. He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. I don't think anyone would deny that. That's why he's, in the top of the field, so to speak. Although, there are plenty of much larger channels above him, but he has found a very comfortable place to be. And he does very, very well because of it. Oh, the rabbit ended up over there. That was weird. Is anyone going to shoot the rabbit? There we go. Okay, rabbit's dead. Everyone stop panicking. All right, good. Eat the rabbit when we get a chance. Thank you, team. And Shield, when you're up today, you should be the only one working on Reed. So with your inspired recruitment, you should get Shield, or rather Reed, on side. Yeah, no, I see what you mean, Sassy. It's kind of, I don't know you personally, but I know you. When your name pops up, I immediately know, hey, I don't know if I've seen that person in a while, or hey, I just saw you yesterday at the stream. I hope I do that for people. I hope I do. So I've been to a stream where they told to get out. Wow. I've never kicked anyone out. I've never kicked anyone out on this stream. My channel is so nice. Thank you so much, Nate. Thank you so much. I really genuinely appreciate that. I say those words and those phrases a lot, but I do really, I can't express it enough. That's the thing. There's not an expression that can go over the top and that's the end of it. It's just, I really do appreciate people saying something like that or showing up to the stream or watching a video. I really do. So imagine a Toontown RimWorld where a mad rabbit would just be game over. Well, mad rabbit can do some damage. Don't take a mad rabbit lightly. So I've never told to get out, really, gamer. I've never kicked anyone out yet. There are some hardcore rules about that. In fact, there's two. There's two rules. There's two things that will get you ejected. And even then, one of them you really have to push it. Obviously, being disrespectful to anyone. This is welcome to everyone. Even Tunahan. If Tunahan wants to come back, I will be very, very happy to see his view. But just being cool and respectful to everyone is the number one rule. Two, and this is possibly even more important, nobody ever is allowed to tell me anything bad about David Bowie. That is a very simple rule. It's very, very straightforward. I don't want to hear anything negative, anything bad, or any deep, dark secrets about David Bowie. I would prefer that he remain as I know him. Thank you very much. That will get you immediately ejected. Willow, welcome. What do you do in this game? Is it worth buying? A short answer, yes, Nane. The short answer to that is absolutely. I held off on RimWorld for a very, very long time for a couple of reasons. One, it seemed the people who were into RimWorld were wicked into RimWorld in like a weird kind of way. I get it now, but it wasn't for me at the time. Two, I was just sort of weirdly put off by the graphics style. I didn't kind of get it. It looked kind of cheap to me, and now I realize it kind of just fits with the theme of the game. The basic premise is it's a colony builder, Name. It's a colony builder. So you, depending on how you set it up, but the normal version is you land with 3 people, and you have to build a colony. So we started with 3 people up here, Shield, Kalian, and Painstingle, and since then we've attracted some other members through either praising them or taking them prisoner, and Stockholm syndroming them into loving us. But it's basically a colony builder. It's a colony builder. And as Kukul says, with survival elements. A favorite video of yours would be the one where the YouTubers live streamed. Yeah, Mom, I got 2,000 views. That was actually a very, very fun game. And I've often said how much it surprised me how fun it was. It's very grindy, YouTubers Life OMG, apparently. It's very grindy, but it is fun. It is ultimately fun. I was just shocked when you put out your first YouTube gaming video in YouTubers Life OMG, apparently, and you get 2,000 views. I couldn't even begin to tell you how long it took me to get 2 views. Never mind 2,000. If you saw 2 views on my first video, I'm going to tell you right now they were both me. I tell you right now, both of those were me. One on my channel's account and one on my private account. Bowie is awesome. Yes, he is, Diamond. He is. And that's why we're not allowed to say anything bad about David Bowie. So we never ever say that. We don't want to diminish Dave's opinion of David Bowie in any way. That would be very bad, and that will get you ejected from our tiny little community here. Am I on RimWorld 1.2? Yeah, I'm on whatever the most recent update is, Tyler. So whatever is the most recent is what I'm on. So it is RimWorld Royalty. It is the latest update or patch that they just did what was that, early last month, somewhere around there. Your streams always make me feel like we're all on a night out together. Thank you, Perturby. Thank you. That's exactly what I'm trying to achieve. Thank you. Other people have said similar things. My favorite one so far is it feels like a night out at the pub with your friends. So thank you. That's exactly what I'm trying to achieve. We're all just kind of hanging out on the weekend, kicking back. There is ostensibly some RimWorld playing, but and I will try to do some of that for, folks like Nain who are actually completely unfamiliar. Okay, here's the thing. Huddle up now. I often forget that new people tune in. I'm so used to all of you guys. It's like it's almost like, kind of saying what Perturby just said. It's almost like I'm just sort of, Friday and Saturday afternoons, I just open my door and you guys come in and we hang out for a little bit. I forget sometimes that new people show up, like Nain. And again, thank you for watching and welcome. You're very, very welcome here. We do this every weekend. It's the same bunch of guys hanging out, and girls, and both and neither, whatever you're into. Nain, just as a heads up, I will often confuse and or deliberately give you the wrong gender or the wrong name or anything like that. My brain can only hold so much information. So if I misrepresent you in any way, do please not take it personally and take it in the spirit of entertainment whenever possible. Where everybody knows your name. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But like I say, I do forget that new people show up. So, somebody like Nain or, our sad lost Tunahan there, is, I gotta kind of bring everyone up to speed, I guess, a little bit, as we quickly did with Tunahan. Can you stop talking? No, Tunahan. No, I can't do that. That's silly. Love little streamers much more than biggers because they always answer my message. Yeah, exactly. I do try to keep up. And, people hit my comment section or something and go, "Oh, you should have way, way more subscribers." Sure, I'd love that. I'd absolutely love that. I'm not going to turn it down. I'm not an idiot. But I hope none of us ever get to the stage where it's a miniature nerd stream, where it's just sort of vaguely there and it's like a weird telephone. I really hope I never get like that. There are a few Dave stories I wish were popular enough to get animated. Oh dear. Oh. Oh, that would be weird. That would be very, very weird. Noticed a lot of people see a channel, think the content is good. They're like, nah, the sub count is less than 100K, therefore not worth my time. Yeah, I'm always a little nervous about beginning channels. Like you just got started kind of things. And that doesn't mean they're any worse than a million K subscriber count. In fact, chances are they're probably a lot better. However, I don't like to get too attached to things that may be gone tomorrow. So we all know thousands of channels go up and down on YouTube every single day. What I look for first, if you're looking, okay, that's actually a really good question, gamers. It wasn't even a question at all. It was a statement, but it brings up a good point. I have very little time to watch YouTube in my life. Very little time. I spend most of my time either working on my channel or doing, I'm gonna use air quotes around the word research for my channel. So in other words, like looking at new games, seeing what's coming out, asking for keys, doing all kind of like the back end stuff that nobody really ever sees. But when I say, hey, I got a key for this from the developer, that took time out of my life to get that key. I had to, make communication with that developer, and that takes time. Or I'm working. We're not independently wealthy. I've got to go out and earn some dollars around here, as does Mrs. Dave. So there's very little time in my life to watch YouTube. This is all leading to a point, by the way. There is a point to this eventually, gamers. So, stay tuned and all that. When I am looking at when sort of a new channel catches my eye, because I still go up and down Reddit looking at the Let's Play community on Reddit, because it's a great place to find hidden talent that people post their videos, especially Let's Play critiques. I've mentioned this before, but Let's Play critiques on Reddit is a fantastic place to find new good channels. 89 to 90% of it is absolute garbage. I mean, it's terrible. people, this is a channel that will go up and down in a day. Somebody starts it, puts out a quick video, thinks they're going to be at 1 million subscribers tomorrow morning, and they're not, and then they close down their channel because they don't put the work in. However, there's some hidden gems in there in Let's Play Critiques. And this is, again, this is coming to a point, gamer. I swear to God, this is coming to a point. That's where I found Civilian. That's where I found Games on Hard Mode. So when I am looking at a channel new, when I'm sort of attracted to a new channel, like Games on Hard Mode, perfect example. When I saw his thing come up on Let's Play Critiques, I checked out what the video was, and then I immediately go to the channel itself because I want to see the backlog of videos. This is the point. I want to see consistency more than subscriber count, or indeed even sometimes what games they're playing. Although obviously if they're not playing games I'm interested in, I'm probably not going to be interested in their channel. I'm not going to go watch a channel that's dedicated to Halo, because Halo doesn't really interest me that much. I mean, it's fine. It's a perfectly good game. It's just not going to thrill me. I look for consistency, gamer. I look for consistency. I'm like, is this person consistently posting? I don't mean every day. I just mean, am I seeing a backlog of videos where this person is, enjoying what he's doing and is putting out the content? And if they are, and they have a very, very tiny sub count, I don't even know what Games on Hard Mode sub count was. It was single digits at the time, and obviously he's gotten, well-deserved a lot bigger since then. Did we ever get Reed? Shield, why have you not talked to Reed? Okay, you haven't. I mean, I suppose you could feed Reed. I'm looking for you to chat with him. I've run into this before with RimWorld. This exact same thing, where somehow the prompt to talk to the prisoner just does not come up when there is an inspired recruitment. And I'm wondering if it's some sort of bug, because this is not the first time I've seen that. There's absolutely no reason. Shield has the necessary skill. He should be able to chat to Reed, but the prompt is not coming up to direct him to do it. I'm going to let it slide for a RimWorld day or so and see what happens, but I've run into that before. That might be a bug. So that's what I'm looking for, gamer. I am looking for consistency. Is this person putting out a bunch of videos? 2 months ago, many of the channels I followed stopped. I'm like, wow, what happened? They just stopped. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Oh, we built batteries, or we figured out how batteries worked. Oh, that's good. We've been prompted to do that for ages. I am going to start to get machining going. Let's tech up a little around here. Let's get some tech going. So, batteries. All right, I'm going to throw a battery down just because it'll make that little prompt on the side go away. And I'm going to be really, really happy about that. So, power, battery. I'll put one in the hospital. Nothing could possibly go wrong with that. So, pop a battery right there. Right there. Yeah, Steve! Welcome! Steve's here! Speaking of where everyone knows your name, Steve's here. Hang on, I have to actually scroll up in chat. I'm missing a lot of stuff here, talking about missing stuff in chat. So, yeah, Sassy, when channels stop, I knew... Again, friend of a friend kind of thing. Birdbrains, welcome, welcome. Have you set the prisoner to recruit? Yeah, I automatically set them to recruit. That's just my default thing. Yeah, he's totally on recruit. And he has no resistance, and Shield has an inspired recruitment. And Shield is the only one doing wardening right now. I'm going to make it like your top priority. I'll make it a 2, just in case there's a fire or something. Nobody else is doing wardening. Nobody else. Oh, and look at that. There's a fire. See that? See how that works? Okay, see how that works? So anyway, talking of large channels that go away, again, friend of a friend in the YouTube world, Name loves management games, graphics like Prison Architect, RimWorld, Another Brick and Wall. Yeah, those are 3 great games right there. Those are 3 fantastic games right there. You've just nailed 3 games that I enjoy very much. I've never put Prison Architect on the channel because I'm not sure what I'll do with it yet. Also, I know for a fact, because we were talking about it, that Penge at the Geek Cupboard has plans to do RimWorld on his channel sooner rather than later, which I, first of all, am extremely excited about. And secondly, whenever humanly possible, we try not to play the same games at the same time because we understand we share a lot of viewers. That's just a lot of viewers go back and forth between our two channels. Obviously he and I have a relationship for whatever it is. So what was my point of that? Oh, going back to big channels that disappear. So again, friend of a friend in the YouTube world, built a massive channel. Massive. Got really lucky with the right thing at the right time, and he did it perfectly. You know how I always say with Paulsley, with the Planet Zoo thing, that he was, when his ship came in, he was ready for it. He was standing on the dock with a ticket in his hands, and he was always already on a first name basis with the captain. The same deal. Not Paulsley, but same deal. Although, the same could be said of Paulsley of, having quick success with a game. So, and then one day, he just stopped because he didn't want to play the game anymore, and it was the only thing people were tuning in for. People were tuning in for. Kukul stumbled upon me when Parkitect came out. Yep, another good management game right there. Little grindy. Good content that made me watch games I would never play myself. Thank you. That's actually, I consider that a good mark. I consider that a really high compliment, because I could say the same about Many a True Nerd. I have watched games that I have zero interest in because he's playing them. So he just, he executes it well. So thank you very much. Ashley, welcome. I look when they uploaded a video. Sometimes I really like them, and the newest one is years ago. Bingo, exactly. That's what I'm looking for, Ashley. You nailed it. You did that in one sentence, and it took me about 20 minutes to say that. So I look for their consistency. Did they upload recently? Do they have a consistent backlog? Even if it's just like once a week, that's fine. Just so long as I just want to know that they're going to keep going, because I don't want to get attached to a channel and they never put another video out. I've done that. And then I'm looking through my subscription list, and I'm like, has this person ever put out another video? Find the prisoner is asleep. The prompt doesn't come up. Oh, that's a good point, Diamond. That's an excellent point. Reed, I have the wrong mouse in my hand. Haha. Reed, how's your health? Yeah, you're never going to get up. You're in deep drug withdrawal on a number of things, actually. Oh, I think Diamond's got it. That right there. That's the problem. But we reduced his resistance, though. But nah, recruitment is different. I think Diamond just nailed it. It's not a bug. It's that they have to be up walking around. I think you can reduce their resistance while they're asleep. Or in bed. I don't think he's actually asleep, because the little Z's aren't over his head. Oh, that's a great point, Diamond. Yeah. Name played Prison Architect for a long time. Very nice game. You can try and make one episode. I would love to. I don't quite know what I'll do with it. I certainly would like to put it up on the channel. It took me a long time to really get into that game, but once I kind of got it, much like RimWorld, actually, very much like RimWorld, it took me a long time to kind of, air quotes, get it. But once I got it, I enjoyed it. So I enjoy Prison Architect quite a bit. Again, two reasons. One, I'm not quite sure what I do with it yet. And two, I don't really want to step on Penge's toes. I have no desire to do that. If Random, welcome. Willow, sorry, I think I welcomed you, but welcome again. Ambi, oh, welcome. Oh, cool. Ambi's here. Awesome. I haven't seen you in ages. Followed me for Thief Simulator, then got into your live streams, not the pre-recorded stuff, because that other game, I can't remember its name. Sassy, I know you don't watch the pre-recorded stuff, but you may want to, if not the video I put up, you may want to just personally check out Junkyard Simulator. I just put a video of the demo out for that today. It's got a super Thief Simulator vibe. Like wicked thief. I think it's the same people, actually. I think it's actually exactly the same developers. So it's got a wicked Thief Simulator vibe. You may want to check out that game for yourself. You might dig that. They never get recruited if they can't walk. Okay, Diamond and Tyler have kind of solved the problem here. Unfortunately, the backup problem to that is that Reed's not getting up for a while. Reed ain't going anywhere. Because he's going to be... Well, actually, he's almost done with his dependence. He's at 89% on alcohol and 91% on the old wacky smoke leaf tobacco there. He might be. I'm going to leave S.H.I.E.L.D. as the only person doing wardening, because I'm not going to be able to pay attention to, well, anything at all, really. So I'm not going to be able to pay attention to that. So I'm going to leave S.H.I.E.L.D. He's got the inspired recruitment for how many more days? Law, gear, social. Anyway, you've got it for a while. So he may be able to get that done. We'll see. He may be able to get that done. Had someone beat the edition earlier in my game. Takes forever, but it happens. Tried watching Penge's Academia. Couldn't get into it, which is weird because that's how I got into Academia. I got into Academia. So because of him. I mean, he built such a following with Academia. I knew I was going to play Academia at some point. I just didn't know when because he kept playing it. He wouldn't stop playing it. Most distressing. Watches Penge's RimWorld. Oh, I know. I'm so sad it ended. I'm so sad it ended, Ashley. I don't... Like, it's... Yeah, whatever it was. Yesterday was Friday night. I'm like, what do I watch on Friday night? That was like my Friday night thing. And it had been my Friday... we got Reed. Okay. I don't know. Reed must have just got up and walked around. Doesn't matter. We got Reed now. Okay. I will be right back to that thought in just a second. I just need to make sure that this is no longer for prisoners. This can be for Reed. And I want to start... Okay, everyone's got an inspired recruitment. S.H.I.E.L.D. just got another inspired recruitment. If we get another prisoner, we can get an immediate colonist. S.H.I.E.L.D.'s going to the hospital. S.H.I.E.L.D. also has no clothes. Reed, rather. Sorry, not S.H.I.E.L.D., Reed. Okay, pause it for a sec, RimWorld. Pause it for a sec. Let me just catch up here. Reed is nearly 70 years old. How long will they live if you recruit them? I actually don't know the answer to that, Willow. I've never had a colonist die of old age. It's never, ever happened. He has it for about 6.5 more days. Oh, okay, good. So, sorry I'm texting so much. No, it's totally fine. Nain, it is 100% fine. You are very welcome, and your messages are even more welcome. I think, Nain, if you listed off those games that you just listed, Prison Architect, Another Brick in the Wall, RimWorld's a natural. RimWorld is just natural. It's got a learning curve. I don't think anyone would deny that. I will shamelessly self-promote myself and say if you want to see the learning curve live in action, go watch my very first RimWorld, because I played it blind. I mean, I did the tutorial. I swear to God I did. I played it blind, but it went down literally in flames. I would like to say it went down in flames figuratively, but no. It literally burned to the ground. So if you're game for a laugh and you want to know, Mel said this about one of my games, and I can't remember which one it was. It's like, I watch Dave so I learn what not to do when I play the game. If you want to know what not to do in RimWorld, go ahead and do that. Is it hard to play RimWorld? Yeah, there's my answer. It has a learning curve. There's no question it has a learning curve. There's a lot that the tutorial does not teach you, but I don't know, for me, part of the fun is learning RimWorld. It actually, I've been playing it long enough that I've never actually finished it. I never launched the ship like Penge did, but it is like I do sort of just go through the same motions over and over because I already know what I'm doing. Part of the fun of it is learning how to play it. The other part of the fun is the randomness, where it'll just throw things at you. Penge's absolute excitement when he plays certain games is what tickles me. Yes, Academia is like that, absolutely. I had been watching Penge for ages, and I had known Penge for ages. And he was doing, was it Farm Manager 2018. But I hadn't known him that long, and I was kind of, going through his videos one by one and whatnot. And he's playing Farm Manager, and he puts down a building. And the building has a gated fence around it. And he flips out. There's a fence with a gate in it. The excitement in his voice at this non-thing is what makes his channel. It's what makes him infectious. He has so much joy when he's playing games. That's what makes him fun to watch. That's how you get sucked in. Because everything is, as he says, very good. Very good. And Kitonius, welcome. Hope Weekend's treating you all. Hope the Weekend's treating you well, too. It's treating us just fine over here. Just fine. True about several that I've watched you play. Yeah, Mel basically watches me to learn what not to do. In gaming and probably in life, actually. Probably in life. Discovered Penge by watching his MMORPG Tycoon series. Yep. Excellent series. I thrust that game in his hands, and I will not apologize for that. Will not apologize. Finished the series, saw David, and that's how I discovered both of you. Thank you. Yeah, I picked up MMORPG Tycoon 2, and oh dear, there's a raid. Hang on, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, there's a raid. What's the problem? Oh, it's one guy with a bow. It's one guy with a bow. I'm pretty sure we've got this. I gotta get Reed some pants. Or not. I mean, it is the Wild Pants Colony. I don't need to get him pants, unless he's really fussy about pants. The Raider's a long time comment. So, Reed, actually tell me about yourself. You are crazy good at punching people. It's basically the only thing you do. You are terrible. And you're a pyromaniac. I probably shouldn't have recruited you. I really probably shouldn't have recruited you. But you are very good with animals. You got that going for you. You can do mining. You can do plant work. You just may be the janitor, Reed. You just actually might just be the janitor and clean up around here all day long. So we'll see about that. Pench's MMORPG was pretty awesome. It absolutely was. I bet you in max 1 year you will have 100k subs. Oh, Nane, you are new, aren't you? Oh, that's cute. I should be so lucky. I should be so lucky. Might have been after the collapse that I saw RimWorld with zombies and monsters. You were naming monsters after chat. Oh, no, that was MMORPG Tycoon 2. Yeah, that was the one where I was naming lots of things. Monsters and the classes and all that stuff. The Zygranas, that's I'm actually surprised Zygrana isn't in chat today. I do need a janitor, Willow, and I think Reed just... Oh, hang on, the raid is actually happening now. I think Reed just volunteered for that. Reed is really exceptionally good at punching people. Kind of wish I'd waited on the Venom Fangs for Reed. Reed would be really good with the Venom Fangs, but that's okay. There's other bionics we can get later. There's totally other bionics we can get. I'm going to transhumanize this whole place up. Everybody's going to be RoboCop by the time I'm done with them. Is that guy still coming in from here? Where's he coming? Oh, no, he's coming over here, guys. Coming over here. I don't actually have a prison cell set up, so that's a problem. Wait, what's solar pinhole? Microscopic skip gate linked to the core of a nearby star, illuminating and warming the surrounding area. Oh, it's just light. It's a light spell. Well, that's dull. I don't care about that. Floaty Ghost Birds. Yes, he was very good with the names. They were very geek covered in their naming. I kind of targeted some folks who were very prevalent in chat, or the comments rather. A lot of comments on MMORPG Tycoon 2. I hope I got them all. I tried to name everyone who wanted to be in the game, because you could name every single player in the MMO. So I tried to name everyone who asked. That was my goal. I don't know if I got it 100%, but I definitely tried. I know I saw a few people had to ask more than once, which made me sad, but I got them eventually. Yeah, keep with the shooting. Go ahead and just keep on shooting if you wanted to do that. Do you need to get closer? Do you need to get... Okay, wow. There's been about 200 bullets that are flying here, and we can't hit this guy. I think we've injured ourselves more than him. Do you need to get closer? There we go. Okay, problem solved. Problem solved. And we can have all of his stuff. Thank you very much. Pemmican. Everybody loves pemmican. 9 herbal medicines, though. That's nice. I like that. I like that. Do you have attack animals? Yes. Yes, I do. I don't immediately remember what animals I have. What animals do I have? Oh, I've got the dog. Yeah, I have one husky. So, I mean, the colony is basically brand new. This is still our first year. This is the first fall, so we haven't really accumulated a lot of animals yet. We did have a bunch of ducks who tried to join, but we ate them. Yeah, I think, 10, 12 ducks tried to join last week, and then we decided that we would rather have duck for dinner. So that happened. How would you like to be a Futurama head in a jar in a museum? Well, we have on numerous times talked about what happens if I predispose Mrs. Dave and my instructions thereof. So that is kind of one of the options. I will accept having my brain frozen to be transplanted into either a clone of myself or possibly someone much hotter later on in the future. That is one thing that may be done to me upon my death. Does the tutorial teach you something? In RimWorld, yeah. It gives you the basics. It totally gives you the basics. It doesn't, there's a lot of stuff it doesn't tell you how to do. Case in point, freezers. So, this is a small point in RimWorld, but it's a vitally important part because you have to eat. The tutorial does not tell you how to set up a freezer. And it's rather finicky if you have no idea what you're doing. because you have to create the little airlock thing. You have to know how big the room is going to be and how many freezers you're going to need for it. I stumbled with even understanding that the freezer went through the wall. The first time I tried to make a refrigerator or a freezer, I treated the freezer like a heater because the heater just sits in the room. And I sat the thing in the room, in the middle of the room. And obviously that doesn't really work because it's blowing hot and cold air at the same time. And it's just sort of, net zero balance there. I didn't realize it actually had to go through the wall. Didn't even know it could go through the wall. So there's a lot of stuff it doesn't necessarily tell you. But that's, for me, that was kind of part of the fun. Willow remembers the Duck Massacre. Yes, we all remember the Duck Massacre, and we all have yummy duck for dinner now. Bought the game about 3 weeks ago. Watching Penge and Dave play taught me a lot. Yes, I'm assuming that watching me play said what not to do. Oh, Zygrana, we were just talking about you. Oh, that's very odd. I was saying that I hadn't seen Zygrana in chat today, and there you are. We were just talking about MMORPG Tycoon 2, and the fact that I named a monster after you. So, wow, irony there. Is that irony? I don't think that's irony. I think that's just a coincidence, is what that is, that we were talking about Zygrana, and then Zygrana showed up. Right. Briefly paying attention to RimWorld. I need another prisoner room. That's what I need. I need another prisoner room. Otherwise, I'm going to have to keep co-opting bedrooms. What if I got a lot of stone blocks? Marble. Perfectly good thing to be building a prison out of. So get me to structure. Here's another little thing the tutorial doesn't teach you, Nane. The wall structure, or many of these things, the tutorial never says, hey, why don't you click on this little arrow right here, and it'll give you all the different materials you can actually build this out of. Didn't know that for ages. I thought I could only build wooden walls. So let's get a good-sized prison room here going, because we're going to want a lot of prisoners in the future. So let's do that, and then we'll put a regular wooden door, say right there. Perfectly good spot. Okay. So we will... Yeah, we'll get a new prison room. We've got the hospital set up. I notice we're not accumulating power in the battery. Is that because we haven't finished building... we have not finished building geothermal. Okie doke. Do we have... We have almost all the materials there. We need a little bit more steel and components. That's fine. It'll get done eventually. Diamond had a cat massacre. Yeah, you should hide. Nobody should ever be bad to kitties. Cats are not bad animals, Zygrana. They're wonderful. They're absolutely wonderful. MMORPG Tycoon game, good management game. Yeah, I'd like to see where it goes in the future, gamer. It's a game of infinite possibilities. There's a lot of things I would have liked to have seen while I was playing it. Number one being specifically able to adjust the size of the buildings and all the other decorative objects, because you end up with these tiny buildings and gargantuan trees. And then, you could adjust the size of the characters and the monsters, and it was just a slider. There's no reason, I can't see there being any reason that could be quickly and easily implemented for all the decorative objects too. So it is a great game. I'd like to see where it is in the future. I hope those developers don't give up on that and abandon it, because it's got such great potential for being even better than it is. You have to keep the servers up, you got to keep the prices fair, and you can choose if you want to make your MMORPG a pay-to-win mess. I tried to make it a pay-to-win mess, and everybody left. That was the problem. Everybody went away. I desperately tried to make it pay-to-win. I made them pay for everything. Absolutely everything. I have a great area right now. Trap set up, only one area with an opening. Mountains all around, and a few granite walls blocking a few spots. Yeah, that's my plan for this. So, I know a lot of RimWorlders favor the one trap corridor idea. The same kind of thing Penge did in his play of this. I favor multiple trap corridors all over the walls, for the very, very simple reason that it almost eliminates the need for any hunting. It's a task you can take off your list, because animals wander in, they get killed, you go eat them. You almost never have to hunt if you have multiple trap corridors everywhere. Sometimes if there isn't a huge animal population, it can get a little thin, but pretty much you can count on a regular basis some doe or mega sloth or something is going to wander in there and get taken out. I've taken out animals I shouldn't be able to take out. I had a thrumbo go down in one of my trap corridors just because it wandered in, and we got a free thrumbo horn out of that. Pain Stingle, would you mind awfully just refueling this while you're in the neighborhood? Thank you so much. What you're saying about me before I came, I feel betrayed. No, we were actually talking about MMORPG Tycoon 2, Zygrana. We weren't saying anything bad about you at all. In fact, we were saying that you were one of the more vocal commenters in MMORPG Tycoon 2. So you were really like into the game and watching the series, and I really appreciated that. And that's how you got a monster named after you, the Zygranas. So no. On the contrary, we're actually saying what how we all benefited in MMORPG Tycoon 2 because of your contribution. Because of your contribution. Want to fast travel to another region? Pay $5. Only 5? Only 5? Really? I made them pay for everything. What do you do in MMORPG Tycoon 2 seems to be interesting. That's a more interesting question than you think it is, Nate. I find, and I've seen MMORPG, the MMO game, let's just call it that because it's a long title, was one of them. And then Golftopia that I did recently. I'm really liking this genre that's emerging of a game about making a game that AI characters play. I think this is a really, really neat genre, and I hope more developers will be doing similar things like this. And there's others out there that I could probably think of if I put my mind to it. But basically, a game about making a game and then watching the AI play the game that you made. I think this is super fun. MMO, Golftopia, both did them very well. I'd really like to keep an eye on Golftopia. That is way more fun than it should be. If that's really fleshed out, that could be a fantastic game. So that's what the fun part of it was for me, Nane, is building a game and then watching somebody else play it and seeing how they do with it. Is that fun for everyone else? I have no idea, but it was fun for me. That's what I like. And, of course, decorating it. Really, the world building, and which is kind of part of the playing, creating the game part, but building a world that made sense. And we built, Zygrana will tell you, we built a lot of lore into that world. We built like, okay, these guys come from this area and they're involved with these other guys, and here's why this thing exists and all that. It was a really good game for building your own story out of it. So I enjoyed it a lot. Birdbrains, you have to go. Thank you so much, Birdbrains. Thank you. Thank you for coming by, as always. Have you ever played Software Inc? Yes. Yeah, I have. It's on the channel, Tyler. Briefly, because it didn't go well. You know what? I could say that about virtually every game I've ever played. Have I? Okay. All right. I'm trying to think of the numbers of games where things have gone well. I suppose Parkitect. I didn't fail at Parkitect. I got all the missions done. I say all the missions. I got to the later missions, and then it just became super grindy. If I can leave my house and go grocery shopping and leave Parkitect running, that's not right. That's grindy. That's just grindy. Then I'm just basically occupying a monitor at that point. Great game. Did get very, very grindy. So nothing terrible happened there. Some of the campaigns took longer than the others, but I got them done. I totally got them done. Did you like my comment on the basically wood shopping scene? Yes, I like that one, Zygrana. Well done. Yes, well done. Software Inc. is basically a management game about building a software company. So you hire people, you produce a software product. There are some decoratives to place, which is the most important part for me, but it's just basically becoming a more and more profitable software company. Great game. People are wicked into that. I crashed and burned very easily. So, okay. Yeah, Parkitect I did not fail miserably on. Let me think. YouTuber's Life OMG! Apparently, I actually beat. I rarely beat a game. I rarely finish a game. XCOM 2. Beat that. And was playing that blind, by the way, which I was playing that with the comments section telling me how to do it. But XCOM 2 got to the end of that successfully. I would say that would be a deviation from Mel's plans of don't watch Dave or watch Dave and don't do that. XCOM 2 actually turned out pretty well. So that was fine. Played RPG Maker. Would love to have that online. There are a few of those. Which ones specifically are you talking about? Because there's like RPG Maker, and there's another one that's basically like the same name but slightly different. I can think of like 2 or 3 of them off the top of my head. Watching this while I grind a game. Yeah, Parkitect, Ashley, you can walk away. I did it. I know I've said this many times, but it really just befuddled me that I could just... There was a point where I was playing Parkitect where I realized I could just leave. I can just leave. Because if you are technically profitable, even if it's by $1, nothing bad will happen. Nothing bad will happen. There is no crisis in Parkitect. There's no There's no random events. In fact, there's very little randomness at all, really. So I set myself up to be basically profitable, knowing that those numbers would be largely static, and I left. I went grocery shopping. I ran some errands. I came back. Park Deck's doing just fine. And I had thousands of dollars in the bank, so I could actually do something. So, that. Dave's full of trial and error. Yeah, mostly error. Mostly error. XCOM 2 was trial and error. I'm still to this day, and anyone's favorite is always a complete and pure opinion, but still to this day, I think my run of XCOM 2 is my most favorite thing that I've done on the channel so far. My most favorite thing, just start to finish. I loved what I did there, and it was trial and error, but it ended up working out. So, and that doesn't mean that anything else I've done is bad. It just means that that's my favorite. Like if you're like, okay, Dave, you have to sit down and watch one of your own series, I'd watch XCOM 2, probably. There's some other stuff I'd watch too. I know I say this all the time, and I think everyone would say this who does this. I do this because I love it. I deeply, deeply love it. But there are some things that I do where I'm like, oh my God, that was so fun. That was like the most fun thing ever. And then there's some that I do where I'm like, okay, that was cool, but I might not do that again. PlayStation 1 RPG Maker. Oh, okay, you're going way back then. You're going way back. Do I want to hear your sad story? Is it like super sad? Is it going to bum us out? I'm not saying you can't say it. I'm just saying, let me say this about that Zygrana. Let me say this about that. You're welcome to put any story you like in there. I would never want somebody to reveal something about their lives that they didn't want complete strangers to know. That's it. I would not, I don't, as much as I am an open book, and I am, I think half the people who tune in here are waiting for, oh my God, what ridiculous part of his life is he going to reveal now? But, there are some parts of me that you guys are not privy to, and vice versa. So I would say this about that Zygrana, as my grandmother used to say. She never used the word Zygrana, but I feel she would have. I would say don't reveal anything to yourself that you wouldn't want complete strangers to know. Because we all know each other and we all respect each other, but unless I'm mistaken, I don't think any of you are all hanging out in one room. So happy right now, I'm not going to lie, because I was searching for a management game, and now I have 2 games. Yeah, there you go. Perfect, man. Perfect. I would say my suggestion, and that's all that it is. Given the games that you listed off, I would go for RimWorld first. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I don't think you will. I think here's how I think this is going to go down, Name. Here's how I think this is going to go down. You're going to grab RimWorld. Don't bother waiting for a sale, by the way. This is a pro tip, a life hack, if you will. Don't bother waiting for a sale because it actually never goes on sale. The developers have we will never put this on sale ever. So if you're like, oh, I'll wait for the Steam Summer Sale, don't. It's the price that it is, and it's going to be the price that it is. The only time I've ever seen it discounted was on the most recent Steam Summer Sale by 10%. Everyone was shocked. Because it never goes on sale. The developers are very firm about that, and good for them. Like, you know what? This is our game. This is what we think it's worth. Buy it or don't. So that was a long way of saying don't bother waiting for sale if you are going to get it, except that the price that it is the price that it is. Here's how I think this is going to go down, Nate. You're going to grab RimWorld, and you're going to go through the tutorial, and then you're going to mess around with it a while, and your colony will go down in flames. Possibly literally. Mine did. And you're going to go, oh, well, what's up with this? This is too hard. This is too complicated. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. And then if you're anything like me, you're going to give it another test drive. Maybe you'll watch a tutorial or two on YouTube. Maybe you'll say, hey, how do I do that on YouTube, on RimWorld rather? I would recommend after you've watched, again, shameless promotion here, but not just shameless self-promotion. It's going to be good. Oh, hang on. I'm going to come back to that in a sec. I never changed the things in this. This is not supposed to be weapons. I never did understand why it defaults to weapons. That seems very, very weird. This is supposed to be just medicine. Thank you. Just medicine there. And copy that and paste that. Take the weapons off, please. So you may, shameless promotion and shameless self-promotion. If you watch my series, you're going to watch the colony go down in flames. And as Mel will tell you, it's a good way to find out what not to do. But if you watch Penge's series, because he actually listened to all of his comments, he is the trial and error one. Like what I did with XCOM, he did with RimWorld, which is kind of make some mistakes, but then listen to the comments and go, oh, okay, here's how I could correct that. And he does. And he actually does beat the game. which is remarkable in RimWorld. I've never done it. I've never taken a game that long, mostly because I just like re-rolling colonies. So that, and then you're gonna, like, if you're anything like me, Nate, you're just gonna kind of get it. Like, it's gonna click. You're gonna go, oh, I get why this is fun now, and it is. I love RimWorld, absolutely positively in my top 5 favorite games ever. I would not, I always feel the need to mention this, I would not have RimWorld if not for a very generous viewer. So I never bought RimWorld. I never wanted to sign up for it. And then a viewer said, I really do think you're going to like this more than you think you are, and gifted me the game. So I do always acknowledge that this came to me via a very generous viewer who knew me a little better than myself. Actually knew me. Bleepity bleep, welcome! Welcome. Why not keep weapons in the hospital? Great for when people break. Yeah, you know what? Maybe there should be a shelf of weapons there. You're not 100% wrong about that, but I did ideally want that for medicine. Oh, they have made moves on my prison room. Did they make moves? Okay, I gotta briefly pay attention to RimWorld for a sec. My geothermal is up. Excellent. Good. I'm gonna briefly play some RimWorld. I know. Tunahan will be most upset. But let's get... Do I have any good... I have... Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give the prison a nice floor. I'm gonna do sandstone tiles in here, just because I can. I've got a bunch of them. Oh, which reminds me, actually, I should go reset this. This is probably done. Yeah, give me a bunch of stone blocks. We're going to start making walls soon, and that's going to be a bunch of stone blocks. I know I can set this on, do forever or do until you have enough. I don't like to do that. I like to do the stone ones manually. Oh, Nain, here's a pro tip if you happen to be watching. I never knew you could click on this button when I started doing this. So I just looked at the bill section and did, okay, make me 50, make me 10. I never knew you could click on this and have other options. Little tip for you there, a little RimWorld tip for you there. Okay. Oh, hang on, what was like around the story? Hang on, I gotta scroll up in chat. What's going on here? Mountain Blades 2 days of download, couldn't launch it. Had to return it. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. It looks, I mean, I don't necessarily know that it's my kind of game. I might check out Mountain Blade at some point. There's nothing I do with it. It's been done to death. A lot of games have been done to death, and I do them anyway. But again, it's what I feel like playing. But Mountain Blade, I don't feel strongly enough to get it, first of all, or put it on the channel. So that's unfortunate, though. I'm trying to remember if I've had anything along those lines. I don't think I have. I don't. Like relationships, choices, morals, having family and pets, and photography. Good lineup there. Good lineup. Oh, pre-ordered a game for $85 and didn't get the pre-order bonus. Dang. Yeah, that is no good. Give me a tour of your RimWorld base. Okay. Zygrana has asked for the 50-cent tour. Wait, what's on April 5th? I'm missing things in chat. I'm sorry. No, okay, I think I'm basically caught up. I think it was basically caught up. Okay, so Zygrana wants the 50-cent chat. So we started doing with just 3 bedrooms here. So we got 3 bedrooms going on over here, and then we've added some other bedrooms. Several of these bedrooms have to be co-opted to prisoner quarters when necessary. So everyone's got their own bedroom right now. Now, fortunately, Shield and Kalian here, who are 2 of our original colonists, they landed as lovers, which was very convenient because they only needed 1 bedroom. You know what? While I'm looking at you guys have a really dumpy bedroom. I'm going to give you a better bedroom. Why don't you have a dresser and an end table right there? And you know what? Have a flower pot, guys. Have a flower pot right there. Okay, so bunch of bedrooms along this line here that go into a corridor. Corridor doesn't actually really make much sense because they have to walk all the way around. But there's a point to that. Because eventually, there's going to be another corridor here because we're starting to mine into the mountain. So we will have most of the base in this mountain, and this will just sort of be a forward outpost, if you will. And then the hospital wing down here, where Reed is still recovering from drug abuse. How are you doing on that, man? 97 and 94. Okay, you are getting there. You are getting there, Reed. You are so going to be the janitor. I had to hastily build a bedroom because we got these 2 guys, Vector and Sebastian. So Vector and Sebastian don't actually belong to us. They're just hanging out. They're just visiting permanently Well, not really permanently, semi-permanently. They're here for like 25 days, and then they're going to leave. What happens when they leave? I don't know. It's somewhat randomized. Some of them, or both of them, may wish to join us. I just had that happen last night, actually, in a side game I'm doing. I had 5 people move in for this whole, like, we're going to hang out for a few days and then leave. I had 5 people move in, and one of them joined immediately. He's like, wow, this place is so cool. I'm going to join. He turned out to be terrible. Anyway, so Vector and Sebastian are just kind of hanging out. They may join us. They may just leave. They may leave and later send us a gift. So any of those things can happen. But there's, no reason not to have them because they're an extra pair of hands. And prisoner wing, other bedroom, and then this will be the prison wing over here. This will be the new prison area over here. And then, of course, we've got our bulk storage here. I haven't really divvied a lot of stuff up. I haven't made a lot of separate storage areas yet. This is just catch-all storage. Basically, everything goes in here. I should probably get the steel out of here. There's no reason to be keeping steel inside. Walk-in freezer right here at a comfortable -2 degrees Fahrenheit. And then the kitchen area, which is, wow, that is really awful. That is just, let's get some floors down in there. Yeah, Reed, I could really do with you waking up and not being addicted to drugs so that you can clean this place. It is really kind of a pit. And then I always like to have concrete in the walk-in freezer. Don't know why. It just looks cleaner. I think it looks cleaner. Anyway, so that's what's going on, Zagrana. That's what's going on. Labor Day is complicated. It is a little complicated. It's really just an excuse to take the day off. That's what I feel about Labor Day. Labor Day is when people celebrate about laboring and don't work. Yeah, pretty much that, Zagrana. Labor Day is when people who have a lot of 9-to-5 stuff don't work. Everybody else works. Self-employed people work. People who work retail definitely work because everyone else is off, so they want their places to be open. So it's complicated in the sense that some people are not working on Labor Day, but not others, really. Some people, but not others. It's just a day off is really all it is. We have them, we bookend summer with that. So we have Labor Day at the end of the summer, and then we have Memorial Day at the beginning of the summer. And those two holidays kind of mark summer. Like summer starts, summer ends. So after Labor Day, we kind of know, oh yeah, we're in the fall now. We're in fall. Gotta start hunkering down, or at least in my part of the world. Nice tour. Thank you. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Any reason for the long corridor to the freezer? Yes, actually there is, bleepity bleep. It's an airlock. It's an airlock. So door up here and door down here, that's the reason for that. So when the door to the freezer opens, it sucks the cold air out. And then the door closes before the next door opens. So it's basically just an airlock. It stops all the cold air from rushing into other parts of the building, and we're losing cold air in here. That's all it is. It probably realistically does not need to be that long. You could certainly do it with maybe like 1 or 2 squares. Really, you just got to think about how long is it going to take for this door to close before this door opens. That's the only sort of mental math you have to do. So for them opening this door and beginning to walk through and walking up the corridor to the other door, this door will close, and it'll keep the cold air in. That's why there is a long corridor there. It's like Ron is playing Crusader Kings 2, and that's best. I've tried so many times to play Crusader Kings 2. So many times. I can't get through the tutorial. I'm telling you, I have no shame in saying this. I cannot even wrap my head around the tutorial. And I don't mean like the whole tutorial. I can't wrap my head around the opening moves of the tutorial. I am so lost in that game. So very, very lost. The permanent visitors can be evil and try to attack you. They can. And they say that right up front. We might attack you. They never have. And I'm willing to take that bet because there's 2 of them and 6 of us. Well, 5 3/4. Reed is, recovering from drug addiction. So I think I can take them, first of all. And secondly, I haven't had that happen. I kind of feel that's a low chance thing. Bought Prison Architect for €6, and then I played some days and bought the DLC. I haven't cashed in on the DLC yet, Nate. I haven't gone for the DLC because I'm still learning Prison Architect. It's Prison Architect to me is like Oxygen Not Included. So I start a colony, or a prison, as the case may be, and I do something wrong, and then I start again. And then I don't do the same thing wrong. I do that right, but then a few minutes later or an hour later, I do something else wrong, and I start again. So that's what I've done with Prison Architect. I'm really still learning it. I'm still getting my head around it. Thanks to Mel largely for pointing me in a great tutorial video, because the tutorial for Prison Architect is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Labor Day is supposed to be a reminder of the time we didn't have unions. Yeah, unions don't help everybody, though. I'm a fan of unions. I actually am not slamming them. I'm just saying, it's not everybody benefits from that. Ask retail workers. They don't benefit. They're still working on a Sunday afternoon. So it's great, and collective bargaining is a wonderful thing. It's a very, very powerful institution, and we should celebrate it. However, ask a self-employed person if he cares much about unions, because you don't. The bench where you want to make stuff like sculptures or tools or cooking, you can hold Control or Shift to more quickly add numbers to make more stuff. Yeah, I always forget about that. I never really remember that. Mostly because I think, Zygrana, I am generally playing RimWorld with just the mouse. So I'm usually playing RimWorld by myself, not for the channel. And I do tend to somewhat like recline back on my couch. I have my mouse pad next to me, but I'm not really near my keyboard on my laptop. So I don't often play with my left hand on the keyboard as I'm doing right now. That's probably why I've just gotten in that habit. I'm just really using the mouse. Mayday. Why are we saying about Mayday? In CK2, there are important things. Find a wife who's younger than 27, not celibate, and preferably noble of good country. I think you could say that about anyone, Zygrana. I think that's a perfectly appropriate thing to be shooting for. Then after that, just do your best in the game with the worst in the morals. Got it. I would love to be into Crusader Kings 2, but I just feel I need so much time to wrap my head around it. I just don't have that kind of time. CK2 is Crusader Kings 2 time. Crusader Kings 2. Mayday is very pagan, or it's very pagan. Much like, obviously not future, but modern. I don't even say modern. They've been around for thousands of years, but the current, that would be the way to do it. Current religions obviously co-opted a lot of pagan religions, as all religions have a tendency to do. They just sort of say, we'll do that one now, but we'll kind of tweak it a little and make it ours. Everybody's been doing that for millions of years. Well, millions of years is a slight exaggeration there. Why are those 2 rooms selected? Oh, these 2 rooms, they're not selected. They're just, that's the blueprints for the floor that I asked them to do. So he's bringing in some stuff now. What are you bringing in? Oh, you're carving stone blocks. Never mind. So yeah, those aren't selected as much as they're just the blueprints for the floor. Like here. Perfect example. So there's a few blueprinted places where they haven't placed materials yet, but you can see most of it is getting done. So that's what that is. If you ever play Crusader Kings 2, kind of a master with 7 hours. 7 hours. I feel Crusader Kings is one of those things you need like 70 hours to get into it. I can't. I have categories in my Steam library. I tried to organize it. I really need to reorganize it. But Crusader Kings 2 is under my category of need more time. I need more time with that game. I don't have the time in my life to commit to learning how to play Crusader Kings 2. And there are several like that. There are a lot of games in there that I have designated with air quotes to be retirement games, where I have the luxury of time to sit with the game and learn how to play it. Self-employed people don't like unions because they don't want to give their workers any rights. That wasn't where I was going with that, Art, and I'm sorry if that came across. I was really going with, literally self-employed, like a one-man show, like I used to be. We don't really get days off. If the work's there, we go and do it. So I wasn't specifically talking about self-employed people and their employees. I hope I treated my employees well when I had them. I hope I did. One of them bought my business. He couldn't have treated him that badly. So no, it wasn't really about employees as much as it was like an actual one-man show, self-employed thing. You never really get days off because you are the business. The business is always you. Can you tell us your stream name? This is my stream name. It's me. You might be asking someone else. I don't know. You might not be talking to me. Which do I think is better, Civ 5 or Civ 6? I gotta tell you, I've never technically played Civ 5. I don't actually even own it. I started... Well, actually, I'm going to date myself. I started playing Civ with Civ 2. Civ 2, which is still a good game. I'm sorry, that is still a good game. It's unplayable on most modern computers, but it's still a good game. And then I went straight to 6. So I bypassed a lot of Civilization. I've watched a lot of Civ 5 being played. I've watched Games on Hard Mode play it, very comically, and I've also watched Penge play it very seriously and yet charmingly. And I don't know. I know there's a lot of people who like there's some sort of like weird conflict between the Civ 5 people and the Civ 6 people. I'm sure they're both. I love Civ 6. I think it's a great game, but I can't give you a firm opinion on Civ 5 because I've never technically played it. Although I've watched a lot of it. Willow likes open world RPGs. I do. I like those. Are we talking when you say open world RPG? I assuming you're talking about something along the lines of a Fallout or a Skyrim, where it's sort of first person experience. Because I could also look at something like the Baldur's Gate series as being an open world RPG, or Pillars of Eternity being an open. I've been playing a lot of Pillars of Eternity too lately. I'm so glad they went to turn based on that, or at least gives you the option. And good move on those developers to not tick off the Pillars of Eternity 1 crowd, where it was real-time with pause. They said, okay, you can have real-time with pause, or you can have turn-based. What is your choice? Me, this guy right here, I like me some turn-based. I like to sit with my moves and take my time right there. Oh, what is my Steam name? Got it. It's painfully easy to find. It's just Wee Hours. It's the channel name. I will tell you right now, Nane, I keep my Steam relationships limited. So people send friend requests, and that is awesome. I very much appreciate it. I don't accept every single one of them. And I don't do that to be a jerk or, anything along those lines. It's not personal. It's just that I have a limited focus number of acquaintances that have, I guess you'd call them, been around the channel for a very, very long time. And those are and I don't even do anything with it anyway. Once in a blue moon, I need to send a message to somebody. So it's Wee Hours. It's on there. It's easy enough to find. But I don't accept every friend request that comes down, and it's never ever personal, man. It's never personal. It's just as I think everyone can understand, I do, there is some kind of life outside of YouTube. Sometimes I wish there weren't. Sometimes I wish I just did this all day. But there is, there's things outside of YouTube, and there are, like we were saying earlier, there are parts of my life that are not open to YouTube. I know that shocks people. I know it does. Have you heard of Evolution? Experienced in a good way. My CPS rate from 3 to 6.5 in 7 years. My hand-eye coordination got better. Oh, is that like an app or something? I might be thinking of that. Willow says Skyrim and Fallout, but not first person. Yeah, I like both styles. I guess it's not really pushing it to say that Baldur's Gate or Pillars of Eternity is open world, because you can pretty much go where you want. Sometimes you have to get through one thing to get to another. Sometimes some areas are locked. But you can pretty much go wherever you want. Especially Baldur's Gate 2. That was wide open. Baldur's Gate 2 was more than happy to have you go into an extremely high level area. And you die, but you could do it. All of them have finite locations. That's just what a game is. Nothing is infinite. I suppose you could kind of technically say No Man's Sky is kind of infinite, but I'd be pushing it to say that. Really appreciate your choices. Don't worry. I'm not worried. I just like to express that to people very clearly. I'm not worried at all, and I know every rational person understands that. But I do like to make it clear, because I do want everyone to feel welcome here. I really do. It's my goal. As we kind of started the whole stream by saying, it's my goal. I want people to just be able to walk in, new people like yourself, be able to walk in and immediately feel welcome. Like, okay, cool. I'm glad I clicked on this. Because there's just a cool group of people hanging out here, and some guy is, I guess, playing RimWorld. I guess. What have I done around? Oh, the prison. I got to get back to the prison. Okay, let me just briefly outline my prison here. There might be somebody like Tunahan who's actually waiting to see some RimWorld here. So let's see what we're gonna do. We'll get some beds. I have some wood. Maybe we should just make these out of steel. No, I'll make them out of wood. I've got the wood for it. Come on, rotate. There you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4 beds is good right now. We'll get some lights in there. and then I'll figure out what else needs to go there. That being said, on wood, it wouldn't kill us to chop down some more trees in this area. So why don't you guys go get... Oh, yeah, plenty of good wood there. Plenty of it there. That'll do just fine. Do I have farms in my RimWorld? Oh, yeah, we did that. We missed that on the tour. Yeah, they're up here by the wind turbines. And obviously, for folks like Nain who are not not familiar with RimWorld, the reason I did the farms around the wind turbine is the wind turbine won't work as well if there's a bunch of trees growing around it. Makes sense. So if you put fields here, trees won't grow there because it's zoned as a growing area. So trees, the only thing that will, long story short, the only thing that's going to grow here is what I say grows here, which right in this one is potatoes. Over here, I think that's corn, and then some rice and some strawberries. So no trees will grow here because I've said only rice can be grown here. And that just helps the wind turbines work better because there's nothing in front of them or behind them. And the farm plots that I've outlined is basically the perimeter of the wind turbine. So it works out just fine. So nothing will grow and interfere with the wind turbine. I did just see that Reed's up and about. Reed, where are you? First of all, you're buck naked, man. Now, I don't know how okay with that you are. We're okay with it here. It is the Wild Pants Colony, and you are welcome to wear pants or not, as you wish. As you wish. But if you want to go get some pants, will I be getting early access BG3? I am... Oh, desperately want that. Desperately, Art. Although, as you well know, Art, there's also another game coming out in the near future that is going to be huge, and that's coming out around the same time. I'm going to be able to focus on that, Cyberpunk. I very much want it. I'm about 83% on that, and I realize that some of the choices I've made recently are leading me to it. Like, I passed on Wasteland 3 for right now. I'm going to get it at some point. At some point, I will own Wasteland 3. There's no question of that. I very, very much want Wasteland 3, but not at $60. It's just not right. I can't do that right now. That's not a smart move. But I'm kind of mentally wondering, did I put that off so something could go towards Baldur's Gate 3 in early access? Because it's the dream team. It's the dream team, Art. We know this. It's Larian doing Baldur's Gate. The thing is, it probably won't even go to the channel. It might not even go to the channel. It might. I've got half a mind to do like XCOM 2, really, and play it blind and see if I can get through it. Because I'm going to desperately want to play it, but so much of my time is doing stuff for the channel that I may have to play it for the channel. P.S. That's exactly what I did with XCOM 2. I picked up XCOM 2 and I played the tutorial, and I was hooked in so hard. Like, I have got to play this, the whole game. But I didn't have the time. I'm like, okay, well, it's going up on the channel then. And, XCOM 2's been done to death. Nobody's doing anything new with XCOM 2. So it might end up like that. I have a feeling when new normal people tune into your stream and they see me get scared from my coolness, it's possible, Cycrona, it's possible that they may get scared off by, obviously, your reputation as having, like, this really, really badass monster named after you in MMORPG Tycoon 2. Wind turbines are great. The statements against them are so skewed, they're not as bad as Coal Miners Union would have you think they are. I am all in on geothermal in RimWorld. I always make a mad research dash for geothermal because it's permanent power. It relies on nothing but itself. It's not ever going to go out unless, there's a solar flare or something like that, obviously. Wind turbine is dependent on wind. The wood generator and the biofuel generator are dependent on being fueled, and the solar panels are dependent on the sun. The geothermal depends on nothing. It just is always working. So, and it's a large amount of power. So I always do make kind of a beeline for geothermal whenever I can, and we've already achieved that. In fact, I might think about earmarking the next one out. There's another vent close by. However, while we're talking about RimWorld power and the extreme controversy amongst RimWorld players about it, I am much more of a fan of biofuel than most people are. The fuel is ridiculously easy to make, and it works just as good as a wood generator. It's very, very easy to use. And if you can get a few tame boom rats or boomalopes, the fuel is free. It's even better. I think your primitive coolers will explode soon. I've never had a cooler explode. Probably maybe they short-circuited or something. No, I think I'm good. This is the same, pretty much the exact same freezer setup I've been using ever since I learned. Oh, God, Reed found the drugs. Oh, Reed, I should have prohibited those. Now he's going to be back on the wacky smoke leaf tobacco. Reed. Okay, Reed, we've streamed RimWorld before. You may not be familiar with this, Reed. We've streamed RimWorld before. The last time we had a hardcore drug addict who wouldn't get out of bed, we almost harvested his organs. I'm not saying that's going to happen to you, Reed. I'm not saying that. We may get along just fine. But, just a heads up. Get off the smoke leaf and get to work. P.S. Speaking of getting to work, I never set your priorities here. Reed, if you are ill, which you are always going to be ill, go ahead and deal with that. Let's go right down to cleaning. I think Reed, number one priority is getting things cleaned up. You actually have an art skill, though. Now that I say that, you actually have an art skill. Okay. And I know you're good with animals. We only have the one animal. Everything else, everyone does plant cutting, everyone does mining, everyone does growing. And by the way, Reed, even if you're terrible, wow, you're actually beyond terrible. You actually have zero skill. Okay, never touch a hammer, Reed. Never touch. Oh, wait, where are we? Where are we? Oh, there we are. Okay. All right, Reed's back on the drugs. Super. Reed's back on the drugs. Oh, good. Geothermal is such a big target for raids. Yeah, I generally encase them in buildings. Bleepity bleep. I haven't done it here yet. Because again, this is just the colony's first year. We're just getting warmed up here. But I generally put them in a building. Just enough building to fully encase them for safety, for security. And I will likely do that here. That will probably happen. That will, I think, reduce the chance of them getting damaged over the long term. Hey, I'm Reed and I recovered from... Exactly. It's exactly... Oh, God, he already needs rescue. Oh, no, yeah, he's already down. He's already down. He's had one sniff of the... whatever it is he's using there. And Reed, I'm regretting my choices with you. And first of all, P.S., we're disallowing you to have any more drugs. Actually, you know what? I should just set up the campfire. I'd like to keep them on hand to sell them, though. Drugs sell for a lot of money. I don't know if people are aware of this. But not just in RimWorld. I'm speaking from, real life here. They do sell well. I hate to get rid of them. He can clean while high. I hope so. Most janitors do, don't they? Best candidate for harvesting his own organs. Yeah, that was the thing, Mel. Mel remembered that, as did I. I wanted to harvest the drug addict's organs, but unfortunately, the person most qualified to harvest the organs, the highest medical skill, was in fact the drug addict. He had something stupid like an 18 in medical. He was like 10 Doogie Housers all mashed together. That was a really unfortunate image. I never want to think about that again. Okay. RimWorld Drug Dealer Simulator. Yeah, basically, they sell really well. They sell really, really well. I'd love to have them. Is profitable, but stopping the colonists, taking them is hard. Speaking of which, now that you've mentioned that out loud, Reed, do you have that trait? Do you have chemical interest? No, you're just a drug addict. You've just done this to yourself, really. You don't even have the chemical interest trait. Does anyone else, while I'm thinking about it, have chemical interest? It's mostly Reed. Yeah, Reed's going to be a constant problem. Okay. Maybe... Well, if he doesn't have chemical interest, if I can get him off all the drugs completely, then maybe it'll be okay to leave drugs around. You know what? This is why people relapse in the real world. Decisions like that are made. Somebody made that decision, and this is why people relapse in the real world. Oh. Once made a thrumbo farm. Dang. That must have taken you ages. That must have totally taken you ages. Yeah, we did kill Stabby's dad. That is true. And she did it herself. You're not wrong about that. It was an emotional moment. It was a very dramatic moment. I mean, it was like soap opera-esque. Why is everyone... Oh, are people still in the hospital after the raid issue? Probably. How's your health? I should probably... Oh, wait. Sebastian, you're high as well. Oh, and you have the plague, by the way. P.S. You have the plague. Has anyone Has anyone dealt with you? Oh, there's the plague pop-up. I missed that. Okay, well, we've got the plague. Plague's here. Do I use any mods? I don't, Zagrana. I don't. I don't use any mods at all. Machining's done. Great, we've got the plague. I'm gonna get gunsmithing. We've got the plague. Okay, which colonists... This is gonna start narrowing the list down. Which colonists who are not addicted to drugs or suffering from the plague are good doctors? Shields out, Kalian. How's your doctoring? You are also high. I let like 4 smoke leaf joints into the colony. Every single colonist is high right now. How? None of them had the chemical interest trait either. None of them were interested in this. They just saw Reed and said, well, Reed seems to get to spend the whole day in bed. I guess I'll get on some drugs too. Okay, everyone's high. Right. What did I come in here for? Oh yeah, who's the best doctor out of the people who are not in the hospital? Payne Stingle. Okay, you got a 3. Great. Legua, you got a 3. Great. Weber, none at all. 0. Reed's in the hospital. Vector? Vector, no. Sebastian? Okay. I mean, there are people who can technically slap a band-aid on somebody, I guess. Natural gas plant and a nuclear plant in my general area, and that's it. Not up on my power plants. We tore down in our area a few years ago now. One of the few remaining coal plants in the area, so that finally got torn down. I forget what that got replaced with. I think it was natural gas. Pretty sure it was. Okay, who would like to deal with all the medical issues? Kalian, you had a medical skill of 1. Okay, never mind, Kalian. Payne Stingle. All right, you're on duty. Can you... Okay, he's already been treated. Go away. Come here, Payne Stingle. Shield's already been treated, and Reed has already been treated. Okay, so nothing to do right now. That's fine. Nothing to do right now. That's fine. We have a perfect source for geothermal plant in St. Lucia, but no money to build one. Well, darn. That's. I watched. I worked on a house once where the owners, they were completely renovating this huge mansion, and the owners just had stupid money. I mean, just throw it away kind of money. So they built a geothermal, like, residential unit, basically, like for a house. So geothermal power for their house. And, as you can somewhat imagine with geothermal power, that involves you drilling into the depths of hell. So for, I think like we were on that site for, I was on that site for like a week. And the entire week that drill was going. And it's not actually a drill, it's more like a hammer. So it was a week straight of just this crane-sized hammer drilling into the bowels of the earth. I had a headache for like 2 weeks after that. 2 weeks. But they got geothermal power in their mansion. I think they ended up moving out. I remember seeing a for sale sign on that a while later. Hunter lacks ranged weapon. Don't care. Oh, it's Reed. Yeah, Reed, I'm not sure I trust you with a ranged weapon. What's your shooting? Aren't you crazy melee? Yeah, you're crazy melee guy. Why would you be shooting? Don't do hunting. That's stupid. Where are you? Don't ever do hunting. That's a very silly thing for you to be doing. We have more tattered apparel everywhere. Okay, I haven't set up any new clothing recently, so let's get... Still waiting on a duster. If anyone could bang out a couple of shirts, obviously some pants. Everyone always needs pants. Maybe a hat. And is there, speaking of furs, anything we should be killing in the neighborhood? Nothing that doesn't have the potential to shoot back, or at least bite us a lot. Huh. Okay, I'll pick off the guinea pigs, because they're not going to fight back, but I don't have my hopes up about much of that. Our volcano is basically an open vent. Oh, you got a volcano? Whoa. Do people live in it? Please say yes. Wait, when did Mel have a volcano? Did anyone else know Mel's got a volcano? All right, that's fine. It's still not quite dissecting brains with a laser. I see where you're going, Mel. I see where you're going. And, good move. Volcano layer. Good move. But it's still not quite dissecting brains with a laser. Not really. Thank you, Zygrana. Thank you for coming by, man. Thank you. Hope we'll see you again. Is a hunter and high. Yeah, it's just a whole herd of the same deer. Yeah, he thinks he's shooting at one deer, but there's 50 deer and vice versa. He's just shooting randomly off into the place. Volcanoes are a given. I suppose they are, Willow. I suppose they are. I just, you know, we kind of have this new house rule that if you've got something incredibly dramatic about your life, go ahead and open with it. Saying, I have a volcano would be one of those things. Admittedly, I mean, it's going to be tough for Mel to top herself, really. She's already revealed that she is the glass ceiling shattering world leader in blinky light technology. So I understand why volcano might have seemed like a second choice. But go ahead and open with, hey, got a volcano. What do you got? What do you got? Again, it's still not quite dissecting brains with lasers, but it seems like a natural combination. It seems like the two of you should be getting together. Volcano layer, dissecting brains with a laser. It's just got Goldfinger written all over it there. So, if you two want to, you and Sally Cat want to hang out and do James Bond level villainy, I will fully support you in that. I will promote it on the channel. I will find some way to let the world know. Actually, you probably don't want the world to know. What with it being James Bond level villainy, you'd probably want to keep that under your hat, as they say. In MMORPG Tycoon 2, the AI is acting like players. Yes, you are. You're exactly right, Name. You are the developer of the game. You are building the game. Like it was like if you were personally making World of Warcraft. That's what they're going with there. Which actually brings me to another thing I'd love to see in MMORPG Tycoon 2: different settings. I know that would be a huge upset. That would be a massive overhaul. But maybe I could do a sci-fi setting or like a steampunk setting or something. Maybe even that might just be giving more decoratives. Just keep the land, but give me, a ton more decoratives and add different categories to it. So yeah, you're basically acting like the developer. You are creating the game world, and then you just unleash the players into it, and they do whatever is available for them to do. So if you give them things to do, they'll go do it, and if they're not, they'll complain, and they'll like the game, and they'll not like the game, and they'll pay for the game and not pay for the game. And we enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun with that. Mads, welcome. Your volcano is a drive-in volcano. Oh, cool. Can you picnic at it? Probably you can. You have hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, floods, snow, but no volcanoes. I am pretty confident we have no volcanoes in our area. We have no earthquakes that I'm aware of. I think we had one like a bunch of years ago, but it was not even an earthquake. It was just like, a teacup fell over and people broadly laughed about it on Facebook. So it's just, we're just not in the area for that. So we have hurricanes infrequently. I mean, we have what we get. Okay, here's what we get in my area. We get the end of the hurricane. So you guys down south, you get the brunt of it. You get nailed by those things. By the time that it's made it up north, by the time it's traveled up the coast, it's kind of tapped out. So we'll get, strong winds and heavy rain, but not hurricane strength. It's kind of done whatever it can do, and it's kind of out of juice at that point. Once in a blue moon, we'll get tornadoes, not on my part of the state, but centrally in the state. That sometimes happens. Mel is the Russian villain, and Sally is the lab cat. I think it might be the other way around. Sally's the one dissecting brains. Sally is the one. I think that's where that's going. We had volcanoes in Washington, but I'm sure there aren't any here. I'm pretty sure we don't have any. I've certainly never heard of any in our area. I mean, and even if they are, they're certainly not active or viable in any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, I doubt Mel's ever had snow. We have snow. We have, oh boy, do we have snow. Yeah. You're not missing anything, Mel. P.S. You're not missing a darn thing. You should be very, very happy. In fact, I would encourage you to start each morning with sort of a mantra, I guess, a daily meditation. It's a very quick one. You don't have to prepare for it or anything. You just get out of bed and go, I don't have snow. And then you go about your day. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to feel better every single day. Every day you're going to feel better. I wish I could do that. I would like to get up and go, I've got a volcano, but I don't. I don't have one. That would be a lie. And I do definitely have snow. I was going to say I'm surprised it's not snowing right now, but it could be at any moment. We have very, very volatile weather. We can have snow when you don't expect snow. We can have heat when you don't expect heat. I can remember like a couple of days into January a few years ago, it was 75 degrees. And then it was, 20 the next day. We have very, very volatile. We do get the occasional water spout. Do we really? You'd know better than I. You're the boaty person in the family. I did not know that. And that's like a water tornado, right? That's like a, well, I actually don't know any other correct way to say it than water tornado. We get snow, monsoons, a lot of wind, and heat. Yeah, we don't get the monsoony kind of things. We get heavy rains, certainly. We get heavy wind-driven rains, but when I think monsoon, I think something more tropical, like Florida, where at basically at 7 o'clock at night there is 2 feet of water that just plummets from the sky, and then 5 minutes later it's over. That's what I think of when I think of monsoons. Does your area get microclimates? No, not that I'm aware of. We get the best way to describe where we are is extremely mutable, changeable, mercurial weather. That's what we get day by day. So in 24 hours, we could go up or down 30 degrees without even trying hard. And it's common, actually. I like to say it doesn't happen a lot, but it happens a lot. It actually happens a lot. It could be 95 degrees one day and then 60 the next day. And that would not be a big deal for us. This is what we do all the time. It was, in fact, Mark Twain. Mark Twain was the person who came up with the phrase, if you don't like the weather in New England, wait 5 minutes. And he wasn't kidding. It can change during the entire day. From the end of the day to the beginning of the day could be 25, 30-degree difference. Saw a water spout in Florida. It was weird. I imagine it must be weird. Hurricanes, I would imagine hurricanes are your main threat. It's probably less about the volcano. It's more about the hurricane. I don't doubt that. I mean, hurricanes are nothing to be joked at. You see the damage that they do. Water tornado, there was one that destroyed much of the harbor about 5-ish years ago. Why do I not remember that? We lived here. Why do I not remember that? Was I just not paying attention? I probably just wasn't paying attention. It certainly sounds like something I wouldn't have paid attention to. I mean, the harbor is like 500 yards from our house, but apparently I have no recollection of that. Okay. Do love the days when the weather cycles between them all, except when the tourists are in the area. I am more of a slow and steady wins the race in terms of weather. If it was about 72 degrees every day, I would be so okay with that. That would be great. Weirdly, though, I love Florida. I love that, 100-degree humid weather. I don't know why. I don't know why I can take it there and not here. I think it's largely because if it becomes uncomfortable, you just walk inside because everything in Florida is air conditioned. Unlike here, that's the thing. Because we have such volatile, changeable weather, you can't guarantee climate control at any given point. I have walked into a store in winter and they have the air conditioning going, and vice versa. It's just we're changing things so quickly in the weather, we can't adapt our climate control that quickly. But Florida is just hot all the time. Everywhere in Florida is air conditioned. Same with Vegas. Everywhere is air conditioned. It's lovely. Air conditioning is God's last gift to the earth. I am convinced of this. I know I'm silly. That's one of the reasons you married me. I seriously don't remember that. The harbor is like 500 yards from our house. If we got up on our roof, we could see the harbor right in front of us. I don't remember the harbor being destroyed by a water spout. Willow gets 100% dry weather. I would imagine so. And name is from Romania. Always wanted to be in America. I don't know if you're missing that much, man. I don't know if you're missing that much. One day, wherever you live is where you live. I'm sure Romania is perfectly nice. I've heard very good things about it. I can't recall from whom, but I'm sure I have. The USA is huge, like huge. Yeah, and that's the thing people don't get, Willow. People from other countries, like Europe, where you've got a bunch of small countries, that disparity in climate and other things like resources, and it's really, I always say we're 50 small countries all mashed together, but I don't think everyone necessarily understands how big the USA is. Is it the biggest country? No, God, no. Canada probably dwarfs us, but nobody lives in Canada. Well, nobody. Let me recorrect that sentence. Nobody lives in most of Canada. Like, most of Canada is unoccupied, and most people live near the U.S. border. So there's plenty of people in Canada. It's just most of Canada is completely vacant. Or Russia. There's obviously tons of people in Russia. It's a huge country, but I don't know. Actually, I don't know the answer to this. Does Russia have a volatile, or not a volatile, but is there different climates in Russia because it's so big? I feel like Russia's just sort of, kind of cold and damp and gray all the time. But you're right, Willow. In America, we have there's 100 different climates at any given point. And some climates are static, like Florida is pretty much the same all the time. Vegas is pretty much the same all the time. California, although you can vary wildly from one end of California to the other, so you can be on the beach in the southern part and you can be skiing in snow in the northern part because it's such a long state. It's long and thin. It runs really almost the entire west coast. But anyway, we have a lot of changing climates. And we have a lot of climates that don't change. We have a lot of different climates. Perk of living in Scotland, hardly anywhere has air conditioning. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Russia's biggest could eat Europe and USA. Yeah, no, I know it's huge. I know it's massive. I just don't... And I absolutely would welcome being corrected. Does Russia have a lot of different climates like the US does? Because I generally think of Russia as being, warmer in the summer, colder in the winter, but largely the same all over, the same. In Canada, even the smallest province takes 3 hours to drive across. Okay. Canada's massive. Canada's gigantic. But I would reposit my theory that most of Canada is unoccupied. I would love somebody to be Googling like this right now. Like what percentage of Canadians live within, X distance of the U.S. border? Yeah, exactly. Sassy's got it. Canada's a lot of wilderness. Destroyed is a relative term. Good. Okay. Tons of damage to the docks and the boats. Capsized and washed onto rocks. Okay. So when you say destroyed, we don't mean that I missed some sort of catastrophic event. Because I really feel I would have paid attention to that. I really feel like I would have noticed that happening. But okay, capsized boats and wrecked docks and stuff. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. My mom struggles to mail and call her friend at the Yukon. People who serve every place in Canada don't serve the Yukon. There we go. Given Russia goes down to Turkey's border, must have more than one climate. I would think so, because it's just so darn big. North, it's going to be hugely cold, and Turkey is quite a hot country. I know very little about Turkey. I mean, I know the animal Turkey, and I know they should be exterminated because they're the spawn of the devil. But the country, Turkey, I know very little about Turkey. I know that Germany has a large Turkish population. I know things about Turkey outside of Turkey. I know that the last time I had information on it, which is a while ago, Berlin has the second largest Turkish population outside of Turkey. So it's Turkey, and then everyone else who is Turkish lives in Berlin, basically. That's about all I know. That's really about all I know about that country. I don't have any strong opinions about Turkey in any way, shape, or form. More than 35% of Canada's 35 million people live in just 3 cities. Wow, that is even more than I thought, Ambi. That's even more than I thought. I figured it would be more stretched out. I figured the U.S. border area, however many miles north of the U.S. border, I figured there'd be a line of the population there, and most of the population would live in that line. But wow, over a third of them live in just 3 cities. That is crazy. That's just, that really means most of Canada is unoccupied. There's just nothing going on up there except pine trees and radar fences, I think. Well, the military uses a lot of that area. Our military, thank you very much, uses a lot of Canada. We found that very handy for keeping an eye on people around here. You need to know what your people are doing at all times. I know we've got a bunch of radar fences up there. Anyway, Reed, you are cleaning very, very well. How's the drug addiction going? Okay, you're basically off the drugs. Right now. Why don't you contribute, basically? Do you not do hauling? Do you really not do hauling, Reed? That seems odd. Was I just not clicked on you? I was just not clicked on you. Never mind, Reed. Reed, get off cleaning duty. You're a very good janitor. The place is getting spotless. Having a dedicated janitor is fantastic around here. But, Reed, I'm kind of regretting my choices in here. I'm really regretting my choices with you. Places near the Arctic Circle are generally hard to live on. X-Shot, welcome. Yeah, I would imagine so. It's like 30 degrees below zero or something. I wouldn't want to live there. I'm sure Canadians don't want to live there. I'm sure nobody wants to live there. But wow, packing them into 3 cities. That is just crazy, Ambi. I'm just now picturing like Judge Dredd mega cities where everyone's just wall to wall with each other. But no, they're perfectly normal cities that people live in. I thought it would be more spread out. If I had to put money on it, I would have said it would be more spread out along the line of the U.S. border, but not even. Told me that I needed a janitor. Didn't need to tell me that. I knew that. I just didn't think. Usually, Willow, I don't get a dedicated janitor until I've got more colonists, because I usually can't afford to give up the labor. So usually when I've got like 10 or 11 colonists, that's when somebody becomes a dedicated janitor. I just didn't think I'd get it this early. But Reed, apart from being just crazy, stupid good at punching people in the face, is not very good at anything else. He does have that animal skill. If we get some more animals, that's going to be his primary role, apart from sweeping up around here. But he's not really very good at anything else. Punching people, talking to animals, and cleaning things. That's really about all he's got going on right now. I should probably at least give you a knife. You are completely unarmed, right? Yeah, you are 100% unarmed. Why don't you at least just have a knife? You're very good at it. It's a terrible knife, but I don't care. You're a terrible person. Most of USA is empty too. Yeah, that's very true. Mad McMahon, welcome. I did not see you come in. Or you were lurking. Either one is particularly fine. So welcome. Yeah, most of the USA is empty too. Now, I read this on the internet, so it's true. The internet never lies about anything. But I welcome somebody to back up this information and confirm or deny it. There are, 7+ billion people on the planet. I read something somewhere where it was a thing about overpopulation and downplaying the scare of overpopulation. It basically said, here's the thing. Every single person on the planet that is alive right now can move to Texas. And everyone would live comfortably. It would not be, Judge Dredd megacities. Everyone would have room. Everyone would be able to, not, completely spread out. I'm sure Texas would be kind of tight. But every single person on the planet alive right now could live in Texas. So you get a feel for how big the United States is. And, just as Mad McMahon said, how empty it is. How empty it is. Because within Texas right now, you can take a day to drive the short side of Texas, not the long end. I think that's one of the reasons that the U.S. and Americans are so enamored with the road as a concept. The road. We're all about the road and the road trip and driving for days. Because we do. We drive for days and we don't think anything of it. We do. People say that about Americans. Oh, you guys drive for 3 days and that's not a problem to you. No, it is a problem. It's a pain in the neck. But we do it. It's a common thing that we're used to. The last job that I have that I worked for somebody else, it was extremely common for me to drive 6 hours a day straight. And that was nothing. That was just part of the job. And I think probably a lot of folks in Europe or in some smaller countries, if you drove for 6 hours, you would have probably gone through 2 other countries at that point. No, this was 6 hours in my own state. That's the thing. 6 hours in my own state. And that was a very common thing. I would do that daily. This was nothing to us. We love driving. We love the road. That's part of being America. Willow loves driving. Driven across the country 5 times. That's America, Willow. That's the best part of America, is you can just get in your car and go. And who knows what you're going to find on the way. That is, as much as we talk about good things and bad things in our country, that is something that will never go away. The American love of the road and getting out on the road and driving on the road and doing road trips and driving cross country and finding weird things along the way. Why do you think we have roadside attractions? Does any other country have roadside attractions where we just put goofy stuff up in the middle of nowhere? World's largest ball of twine. Giant dinosaur statue, a la Fallout New Vegas or something. We do that. I don't know many other countries that do that. We're going to put a bunch of weird stuff on the road and people will see it. Eventually. Given the size of America, I find it surprising you don't have many passenger trains or public transport. No, I agree with you. And trains built the country. I'm not playing historian here, but trains built the country. And then I think the American love of personally driving overrides that. There is something about the culture of America, and I am just as guilty of it. I want to get in the car and drive myself. I don't want to take public transportation. I want to be in control of my transportation. And I think that's part of it. I don't know that. I don't know that. I mean, trains still exist. We still need trains to drive. Well, I say that. We still need trains to drive bulk goods places, but what do we have instead of that as Americans? We have the trucker, the iconic trucker, hauling cross country for days. That's iconic in our world. That's it's not even a cliche. It's something we celebrate. That. Anyway, blame the car industry. Yeah, bingo. Willow's got it. Yeah, Wingo's got it. Furthest place in St. Lucia from you is 1.5 hours. 1.5 hours. My last job was transportation. I'd love to drive 1.5 hours. That'd be a short day. Like, oh, it's only an hour and a half? Boom. Can nail that. No problem. Route 66. Exactly, Diamond. It's iconic. We live for the road here. American love of the road was created to sell Goodyear tires. Well, it worked. It worked. And you know what? A dentist will tell you that dentists set up the whole you've got to see your dentist twice a year as a marketing stunt. It worked, man. It worked. It totally worked. Amway, passenger trains. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go out and say that Europe has more of a love affair with trains than we do. I've lived there. I've lived in England, and I visited other European countries. I think Europeans have that love of the train because you can go through all the other countries in trains. I think I would look for Europeans in chat right now to say, yeah, we actually have a thing with trains. We dig trains. In big cities, we do have Willow, you're exactly right. We don't have no public transportation. We've got plenty of it. But a really good point, I think, to that, Willow, is that when you look at the suburbs, that's when, and we are the reigning kings of suburbs and suburban sprawl. That's when public transportation breaks down. Because it's just not there. It's in the cities, really good. Really great public transportation in cities. Once you get out to the burbs, I will tell you right now, in my town, there is one bus. That's it. One bus goes in, one bus goes out. No train station, no subway station, no nothing. We have one bus. It runs, depending on the time of day, it may only run once an hour. You got one shot to get that bus out of town. That's it. And other suburban towns are, better or worse than that, but there's just not a lot of public transportation in the suburban sprawl areas, I think. American highways were built by Americans as our government refused to pay for it. We used to drive on mud. Yeah, we still drive on a lot of mud. Shape cities, location of buildings. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The railroad is still huge. I mean, we still use rail. But I think the American love of driving trumps that. I would repeat, I think Europeans have more of a love affair with trains. I think they have that sort of romantic, Orient Express thing of this long, winding, beautiful train ride through other countries. That's a great dream. There ain't nothing wrong with that. That's a cool dream. I don't think we necessarily have that here. I think trains are functional. Like, okay, I can't drive that far, so I guess I'll get on a train. That's how we do it. Europe has trains almost everywhere. In terms of public transport, Europe, you can get everywhere, even other countries, via buses, trains, technically nowhere near as cars. No, I've seen that. And you're right. I think in American cities, there's less a need to have a car. And you'll see a lot of folks in the city close to us or in other major cities like New York, they just don't have cars because it's not worth it. There's nowhere to park them. You have to pay to park. So a lot of city dwellers may just use public transportation. But out here in the burbs, there ain't a lot of public transportation. And what there is lackluster and sporadic. I mean, I'm just talking about my town, personally. So, Ghost Rider, welcome. Why do doors into your room not go into the hallway? There's an excellent reason for that, Ghost Rider. There's an excellent reason for that. It's because there's going to be another hallway around here. This is eventually going to go into a hallway, and this area up in here is going to be the main living area. Thank you for asking that. That's a very good question. Also, if I put doors on this side of it, then people could be in here asleep, and then other people will come through to get to the other side, and that will give them the disturbed sleep mood debuff. So there's two reasons for that. That is both of them. It is 23:03, so that's 11:03. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. So you are, 7-ish hours ahead of us? Yeah, 7-ish hours. Japan is great for public transportation. I've heard that. Lived in Mississippi, no bus. Yeah, exactly, Willow. I will say it again. In our town, there is one bus, and that is it. It goes from here to Boston. And, obviously it goes through some other towns. It's not a teleportation system. But it goes from here to Boston, and that's it. It is one shot. This is where you're going. You can get off in Boston, or you can get off on other points along the route if you so desire. But that's it. It will take you to the nearest subway station about 10 miles away-ish, give or take. So it will take you there eventually. But when I worked in Boston years ago, when I worked in Boston, it would take me, and I used public transportation. I didn't have a car, so I had to use public transportation. I was living in a city with better public transportation, about 2 towns away from where I am right now, and it had more frequent transportation. It was a larger town, so it had a lot more buses. It still took me pretty much every day. It would be 90 minutes to get to Boston, and Boston is only about 20 miles away. So I could drive there in about 20 minutes with no traffic. But to do it on public transportation, it took me 90 minutes. So public transportation is not even worth it time-wise around here. The only thing you really save is the cost of not having to own a car. We are car people. America is car people. And we probably always will be. Everyone's all bent out of shape about self-driving cars, and I'm going to tell you right now, Europeans will have self-driving cars generations before we accept them. I think if a safe self-driving car came out tomorrow morning, most of Europe would go, yep, hand it over. Love it. Perfect. Saves us a ton of trouble. I think Americans would take one look at that and go, I'm not getting in that thing. Are you kidding me? I don't have my hands on the wheel. I don't have my feet on the brake. No, I'm not getting in that thing. It's going to take us a long time to get over that. I think we will eventually. It's just going to take us a while to get over the fact of not being in control of the car. And took a trip cross country at 13. Yeah, but your father was into that. Grandfather, rather. Excuse me, please. Your grandfather was into that. American Orient Express. He loved... Yeah, no, he did. You're right. Your grandfather loved that idea of the long train ride. It's a great romantic notion. I'm not dismissing it. I think it's an awesome thing. It's just not American. It's just not traditionally what most Americans do. It would be uncommon. Your grandfather was uncommon in many ways. And I actually say that as a compliment. He was uncommonly old-fashioned in many of his views. Even, given his age, he was still old-fashioned even for that. So, but, he did. He loved that romantic train thing. Bus systems like Scotland Highlands, one village has a bus that comes twice a day and goes to the nearest city. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And we're not in the middle of nowhere. We're in an extremely populated, some might say overpopulated suburban area. Oh, we did gunsmithing. Yay, go us. Well, now what? I got the things I want right now. Okay, I'm going to back it up a little bit and then go for some more decorative things. Let's get carpet making under control. I don't actually have any cloth, but someday we might. Willow's taken Amway across the country twice. It's relaxing. I would not be opposed to that. Again, I think it's a wonderful romantic notion to take a train across country or like across Europe or something like that. I just think my only point in all of this is Americans as a culture are more involved with driving themselves long distances. We have that, drive to go. If you want to describe it, it's that vision of, the cowboy riding off into the sunset. And we've never let that go. We've never let that image go. It's still an icon today. You can still put out a movie with a cowboy riding off into the sunset, and everyone knows exactly what that feels like. And we do the same thing with cars. We see that stretch of open road before us, and we just want to drive down it and see what's at the horizon. That's just culturally who we are. I think it's one of the really nice parts about America. I think it's one of the things that we should be celebrated for, is that love of getting in the car, driving off, not really knowing what's going to be on the horizon. I dig that. I think it's one of the nice parts about America. That, guys, because I've gone way over time. We're well into the XCOM Death Hour at this point. I got to call the stream. I'm going to let you guys get on with something far more important than listening to this rambling nonsense. I wonder if we lost Tunahan. It'd be nice to think that Tunahan lurked. I don't think Tunahan lurked. Anyway, guys, I have so much fun doing this every single day. Every single day that we do this, I have fun doing it, and I love doing it for you guys. I'm so happy that people come out and watch this. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys coming out, and especially the new folks that came in. Name and you guys, I hope you come back. We stream every Friday and every Saturday at 2 o'clock. The Friday stream is set in stone. It's always at 2. The Saturday one is set in stone, except unless maybe I've got something else to do. But 99 times out of 100, we stream on Saturday. So Friday and Saturday at 2 for the new folks in chat. First off, welcome. Secondly, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope I just mildly entertained you, and I hope you had a good time. And I hope you had a good enough time that you'll come back and do it again next week. And we'll do it some more House Slipper next Friday. We'll do some more RimWorld next Saturday. Other than that, guys, you know very well where to find me. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you later. Goodbye.